Thursday, or maybe not quite Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Once again, great to be here. We are getting very, very close to fun times, I think. What are we at? What's it, like 12 days? Is that right? 12, 13 days? Sam, are you counting?
Yes, I'm counting, and I would just like to remind the people that we now have a dedicated channel for countdown. It's called It's Coming, and we are only 14 days away.
I know I saw somebody in the chat revving fur about it before, being like, "Hey man, when does this tick over? Like, what's the tick over date?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. When first set it up, stop yelling, stop yelling at me." Yeah, so we do have. Long story short, we have a countdown there, which is really awesome, and a few other things you might notice from around the traps as well that have just snuck in there for a couple of things that are new, I think, comp wise. So you'll notice now we have what I would suppose you would call a major invite finisher all the way as we charge into MainNet. So give us a quick rundown on that, Sam. How many people, how many biscuits? What does it look like if you're a winner?
Oh yeah, I think currently we do have some very juicy competitions running, if I'm saying that correctly. So the newest competition is that, if I'm correct, then you need to reach a lifetime invite of 1500 members, and then the first 20 people to do that will get 750 L1X tokens. That's one of the competitions. The second competition is our good old invite competition. The top 10 people for the week will get, I think it's 100 or 150 L1X tokens, whatever it is. And then we also have a task on campaign running. All you need to do is go on the website, complete the quest, as simple as that. And yeah, we also have some Gleam stuff running in the background as well. So yeah, those are the competitions. If you have any suggestions regarding that, if you need more comps, let us know. If you think that we should change something in the current competitions, then let us know as well. Joe, if I missed something, please include.
No, I think that's mostly it. And a few things to be aware of. Obviously, we're ramping up Twitter, as you've probably seen, and as well onto DBank. So if any of you are on DBank, give us a shout out. We're newbies at this, so just as in the DBank world, we've been on there for a little while, but we're starting to ramp up our engagement over there. So feel free to come over, jump over, and say hello on that platform. I do believe we do have one more exciting what you would call comp, and that's on the L1X app. As you can see, there's 10,000 L1X times 2 to be given away every day. So that's very exciting. If you purchase 500 L1X coins, or if you purchase a username, you go into the draw daily to be drawn out, and it gets announced on the L1X app. So if you are on the computer right now and you twiddle your way over there, you'll be able to see the most recent winners, I believe. Well, I can see them anyway. I'm sure everybody can see them. So that's very exciting. I think in terms of time when it ticks over, I'll try and get some clarity of when one day is to one day, because I know one day for me is different to Perthians, and I know that's different to the US. But I suppose in the grand scheme of things, if you were to contribute the same amount at every day at every time, it wouldn't matter when the start or finish is. You would still be included in whatever day that was. So there, yeah, heaps of things coming out. And like I said, 12/13, depending on where you are in the world. Days left until mainnet. So I think that's all from around the grounds community wise. So I'll pass it
Just
up to the pros. Oh, Sam, go on.
Yeah, just one thing we forgot about, one competition. It's called the Apex thing, or Apex, however you want to call it. So the guys that are the most active and most helpful over the week will be given a role called Apex. It's a very special role. So yeah, if you get that role, reach out to us. You'll get your L1X tokens, and then we'll move on from there. Yeah, that's it from me. Let's pass it on to Mike. Sorry, Matthew.
I was going to say we can pass it to Mike, but he's. I think we insulted him last time too much with his scrolly hair, and he's not here this time. So we'll go for Spark instead and see if we can insult him.
Yeah.
Spark, over to you.
Hey guys, I think the insults are just a bit of banter. It's the moment where people stop giving you grief that you got to worry. That's when they go silent on you. That's when when they got to worry. But look, congratulations to the first winners of these the coins that come out as well. I think on the L1X app. If you haven't checked, I don't know if anyone's kind of put their hand up to say that they won it, but massive congratulations to those people, the first winners of that comp. I think that's pretty awesome. In terms of the community stuff, I think you guys have been doing a great job. I'm just going to give you a couple of updates on our from the marketing side. From the I think Chief might be joining us. He can give you an update from the CEX side as well, but I can kind of update you on what I know. But from the marketing side, we've got a fair few marketing things coming out. We've got some influencers lined up that Kevin's going to be. So you'll find Kevin will be doing more of the interviews moving forward, just up to MainNet and after MainNet. I think from I give it my best shot on the AMAs, but there's just something about when Kevin kind of speaks, and from being the owner and the builder of the project, what's really important, I think, a message to get across. So we've got quite a few lined up. The marketing team's been working hard to line these up, so you'll see those coming out as well as we get up to MainNet launch, which is great. It's been really interesting, the X Talk series that we've been doing as well. We've, funnily enough, it's really got a lot of traction. I know Cody's been jumping in on a few different other talks held by other people as well, but the X Talks themselves have been getting a lot of traction. When we first released the submission form, we were probably getting maybe one submission a day. Now we're getting a lot, and we're getting quite a good range of guests wanting to get on and talk. I listened to the last one that we did on Tuesday, I think it was, which I think was great, and some really good insights. Funnily enough, which is probably one of the side benefits we expected from those the guests coming on from X Talks, we've now opened up communication lines between potential partnerships, talking about each other's tech, how we can work together. I think that's and it was an expected benefit, but it's really good to see the collaboration in the space. And I think what makes it very easy to collaborate with Layer 1X is the fact that we aren't here to compete, we're here to unite, right? So whether it's a project wanting to build directly on us, or we're connecting to a chain where a project, where there's a really valuable project that exists there, or the chain itself puts us in a really great position. And I know Sam and Joe have been doing a bit more work around the AMAs as well. So hats off to you guys. You guys are like dynamic duo on there. So well done. Also, you probably would have seen the first press release that we had out on Cointelegraph that just came out recently, just promoting the airdrop. We've got another press release as well. We've got lined up for next week coming out with on Cointelegraph as well about the mainnet launch. We've also got obviously the different competitions that are running with either within the community, or we've got some of the other AMAs that I mentioned that are coming up as well. So we've got AMAs, we've got the X Talks, we've got the press releases coming out, and we've also got the when people come into the community. I think the invite competition is going really well as well, which is awesome. So from the CEX side, so we've got MixC locked away. The other, so we're talking, I think Chief might have mentioned, we've got about 14 or at least a dozen or more different applications in. So we're at the final stages with probably 4 other CEXs. We're just waiting on the final comeback from them. We've been back and forth with them. So ideally, we'd like to be able to announce some more next week. So keep an eye out for that with the CEXs. That's a really important part of the plan, obviously. When you've got CEXs, and just to explain, most people will know, but look, CEX is the difference between a CEX and a DEX, decentralized exchange, which is like a Uniswap, a Pancake Swap. And then you've got the centralized exchanges, which is, like your KuCoins, your BitGets, your Binances, your Coinbases, your Bybits, your OKXs, your Huobis, all these kind of exchanges. That having those exchanges on board is great because they do a lot of volume. We've also already got our market makers locked away as well, but they do a lot of volume, but they also bring new buy pressure as well. So getting those CEXs locked away is an important part of the process. And hopefully we'd have some finalizing the ones that we're almost at the end with next week. So give you an update on that. Kevin was going to join today, but he definitely will be on next week, but he's just buried with the devs in terms of finalizing everything around the X wallet, around any protocol. In terms of the audits, I don't know if we've mentioned this, but we've started our audit process already. We've been working with a company called Hashlock, which are a really great company based in Australia. So they'll be going through the audits. They've had from everyone they've audited, they've had no issues with their audits up to date. So they've got an extremely good track record. So we're really happy with those guys. Really great team as well. So that's getting completed as well, or that's already in process as well, for them to go through that. I'm just trying to think what else we can update on. Anything else you want to add there, Cryptonaut?
No, I think you pretty much got it covered on that part. I do want to say that, kind of echo something that you've been talking about in terms of being able to get out and participate in other AMA communities as panelists, and it has been a wonderful opportunity to, as many as you know and have talked to me before on a personal level, you'll know that I love talking to other projects and learning what they're doing. I kind of relate it back to how when you're out and about and you see a yellow car and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I haven't seen a yellow car forever, and then all of a sudden you start seeing yellow cars pop up everywhere, right? And I'm not talking about cabs either, just so that you're aware. But it's kind of that opportunity. Like once you get into the frame of mind to think crypto, think L1X, and how you can help people get introduced to the ecosystem, the opportunities start presenting themselves. And I think that this is a great opportunity to kind of showcase this kind of request to have the community help us by opening up your mouth, look for those opportunities, kind of step out of your comfort zone. Because we've been doing these other kind of AMAs with other communities, the proof is in the pudding. It definitely helps. It definitely helps us grow in a variety of different ways, not only by building brand awareness, but like Spark was stating, it has opened up the lines of communications with some really, really good projects that we may have not have recognized until a little bit later down the road. So it's a great opportunity for that. I've really enjoyed making friends across the board, across different projects. So I highly encourage everybody, as we're kind of down to the last 2 weeks here before MainNet launch, that we just continue to keep pushing those boundaries of our comfort zones to talk to people and to educate people on crypto, but also L1X.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen Chief is trying to get in. I think he's having some hardware issues, the old classic Discord update. So he might join us soon. In the meantime, I think there are a couple of community questions if we've got time to dive into that. Sam, did you have a list there of some stuff you wanted to throw up?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. So will the mobile wallet and app be available before mainnet launch?
I will have to. So some of these questions I can answer. Some of these questions Kevin will have to answer. So that one I'm not. I can't answer that one because it gets Kevin in the dev team. So I'm not too sure. So I don't know if you know Cryptonaut, but I think that's kept closely with Kevin in the dev team. So we might have to kind of take. Can we take some of these questions down maybe, and then we can post them in the community chat if Cryptonaut and myself can't answer them.
Correct. I think that's a Kevin question.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
it. We can definitely push them out. If there's stuff, and obviously realizing it's role dependent, there's going to be stuff on here that maybe you guys don't know as well. So
Yeah, but we'll find out. We can find
yeah.
out. If it's not right now, we can find out for everybody. No problem.
Yeah, and then we can push them out. That's perfect. Sorry,
Yeah.
carry on, Sam.
Yeah. We've got one from our very own Sleazy. Is there any marketing reason why Object X got rebranded into Space CMS?
Yeah, I can take that one. I just actually answered that question, but I'll repreface it what I stated. But basically, objects was a brainchild of mine that I created clear back in May, June of last year. It was kind of a concept that I had, and then as we started building out the L1X app, we found that it would probably be more beneficial and used more if we implemented it into the L1X app. And so, therefore, that's one of the main reasons why we're implementing it slowly into the L1X app. And as we do that, we want to try to follow the same kind of space theme that we've been going with. So that's the reason why we've had that rebrand.
Spark, did you wanted to add something?
No, but I think to summarize what Cody said, I think to keep the language very similar, because obviously you've got your space cards, and it's create your own space, and that's why it's kind of sticking with that same sort of language theme and not using too much different terminology. That was my understanding, to just kind of keep the language very similar and familiar within kind of one. If it's all wrapped around space, that makes a little bit more sense than calling it something like objects, which is quite different to the branding of space.
100%.
Yeah, I think that makes sense 100%. Yeah, I think the next question would be about what sort of things are we doing with influencers? Are there any plans, stuff like that?
Yep. So mentioned just at the beginning there. So we've got interviews. We really want to get leading up to MainNet. We really want to get Kevin on interviews and speaking a lot, because being the founder, it's always a powerful message. So we've got AMAs lined up. We've got podcasts lined up. We've got Twitter Spaces lined up as well that we'll be rolling out to create that hype around MainNet and get some exposure through some of the influences that are out there. So keep an eye on that as well. That's all coming out. That's all in the road plan. The marketing team's been working pretty hard to line all those influencers and those interviews up for Kevin.
Oh yeah, definitely. Marketing is ramping up, and I'm sure everyone would have noticed the jump in numbers in our Discord as well as our other socials, DBank, Twitter as well. The next question is, yeah. Go ahead.
I think you guys have been, and just to kind of give you guys the community a bit of a background, Sam and Joe work really hard in trying to get exposure in different areas. So, they're either on DBank or they're talking to, a few different. So they also, play a key role within that kind of exposure part as well, which they've been doing a really good job. So building up the numbers, in the Discord, and then when people get into the Discord, they're focusing on retention. So I think, just even the general chat and speaking in the community is a great retention kind of incentive, because I think we have a great community, but all with the invites and Joe runs the gleams and stuff like that. It's a pretty coordinated effort by Sam and Joe as well to help out with that. So, you guys do a good job.
No, yeah, definitely. Me, Joe, and then now Fur, we sort of make this a Power Rangers team where each individual has sort of their strengths and weaknesses. And we sort of take care of ourselves. Yeah,
It's
that's
one
the
of
thing.
Chief's memes, isn't it? One of Chief's meme.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God,
No,
I've just seen a picture of myself in the chat. That's great.
Spark. It's hilarious.
Oh,
That
gee
is
heaven, mate. You're a
awesome.
legend. You're a legend.
This is
We
what
need to get a
also-
T-shirt made with that, Machu.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So for some context, yeah, everyone sort of calls Kevin the goat, and then after that, everyone calls Matthew you the baby goat.
Oh, and what do we call Cody Kryptonaut? The nanny goat.
Makes sense to
makes
me.
sense. Danny.
Oh boy.
Oh, maybe that's Chief.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, I guess
Funny.
to keep moving on, this sort of question I think is more focused for the Dexify and the EMP team, and I know that our team and their team has been in contact for quite some time now, and we are also going back and forth with them. But Machu, if it's possible, any sort
Yeah.
of news or talks about the L1 Dex team or how's the development going, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, so we've talked to I think we've got multiple communications this week with the Dex team. We've already spoke to the team on a video call once. I've already been speaking to AJ as well. We've got another call tonight. So we'll be working with the Dex team to get everything rolling ready for mainnet. Our aim, and look, this is our aim, right? But we've got to work towards this. So we hope to have something even slightly before mainnet that people can start to see and interact with the decks in a limited way, and then ready for mainnet itself. So just stay tuned on that. We're working together with the decks guys to get that up and rolling. But yeah, that's the latest so far. So we're probably talking to the decks guys even more than we ever have. I mean, communication's always been there, but they've got a channel with in our internal chat anyway. So the communication's always been open, but now we're starting to ramp up and get things done with the decks so that it's ready for mainnet.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Macho. And I think everything sort of near L1X and in L1X is sort of ramping up at a very high speed. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's probably one of the reasons why Kevin couldn't make it. There's so much that he's doing to get ready, but he'll definitely. I mean, he said, look, to just tell the community he'll definitely be on the next one. But yeah, cool.
yeah, definitely. All of us need 25 hours a day right now, but yeah, we work with whatever we have.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
moving on and coming to that, coming to mainnet. So I'll sort of rephrase this question. It's from a community member. So, as we move closer to the mainnet launch, what are sort of things and what are sort of gears that we will be clicking? And are there any plans of how we are going to do it? Anything much related to that would be very helpful for the community.
Yeah, so just rephrase that, mate. I missed the middle part of that. So just say that again.
Yeah. So simply put, what sort of plans are there for the mainnet launch when we move closer to 31st January?
Yeah, so we'll be ramping up the marketing, like I said before. We want to get, so the marketing will be pre and post mainnet. So we have the marketing stretch across that. For mainnet, we'll be talking about obviously what we're going to launch with at mainnet, but also the roadmap very close after mainnet. In that first 3 months, there's a lot of stuff in there as well to be able to continue that kind of that news flow after mainnet. Then obviously bringing in the other projects, like we've got Digger Arcade, opening up the dev documentation for projects to be able to then go ahead and build on their own and build on the ecosystem as well is really important, because obviously more options on the ecosystem. We'll be integrating as many of those projects as possible into the L1X app as well, that as they build on there and start to kind of grow the ecosystem. And then we're also having the launchpad as well, so the projects can have a launchpad to launch on within the ecosystem. So I think it's more so wrapped around this. So marketing pre and post mainnet, having good news flow in terms of the roadmap, post mainnet as well. So there's lots of interest in what we're doing post mainnet, and then building out, having the ecosystem build up, so making it really easy for devs to be able to build on the system, integrate into the L1X app. And then outside of that, in terms of directly on the ecosystem, is then promoting, having the widget ready so we can start to push the widget out to projects, whether they're on L1X or not. And I think that widget is quite an easy, it's a bit of an easy sell. Once we get the Dex, Kevin and the team connect the Dex aggregation up to the widget, then it's a bit of a no-brainer for a project to take that on. I think that's a very good way for us to, start to get exposure outside of even projects directly building on us, because any project can put that on their website, whether it's a project, whether it's a media company, whatever it is. And so, we'll be doing that as well. So there'll be ecosystem, but also indirect ecosystem, and then connection. So Bitcoin connection will be there as well. And then any other chains. We're talking to a couple of chains that we want to connect to that also want to do marketing with us. But our decision was to do that post MainNet, just because that'll also help with marketing collaborations between other chains we're connecting, and having them market us as well. Post MainNet will also keep that interest on Layer 1x.
Absolutely. I think interesting times are ahead of us, and we are just only a few days away. So, Machu, since we last discussed the X-widget, we've had a lot of new people joining our Discord. So, if you could, in short, explain to people what's X-widget and how
Yeah,
can people bring in projects and stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. That's really good, actually. You kind of I do. Thanks for reminding me as well, because I kind of, you get used to the community and you think they've been here for a while. But look, a huge welcome to anyone who's just arrived in the community or has only been here for a shorter time. It's great to have you on board the journey with L1X. I'll give you a bit of an insight into this widget. So at the core of Layer 1X and its capability is the interoperability, meaning our ability as a chain to connect to any other chain, EVM, non-EVM. And the unique factor that we are the only ones that can do that. So once we connect to a chain, that particular chain has bridgeless interoperability between any other chain we're connected to. So you can move assets like NFTs, you can move tokens, but also just as important, smart contracts now can talk to each other across chain. And why that's important is because then with that sort of interoperability, EVM and non-EVM, you can start to create an ecosystem of blockchains where a lot of the actions that users can take will make them feel like they're just on one blockchain. And so the widget is probably one of the really good examples of that, is where you can swap tokens between chains through the interoperability, EVM, non-EVM. But also, once we connect that cross-chain ability with DEX aggregators. So for those who don't know what a DEX aggregator is, a DEX is a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, PancakeSwap. A DEX aggregator basically looks for, let's say you want to swap one token with another token, it'll go ahead and source the most efficient place for you to make that swap, right? In terms of slippage, gas fees. So it'll go ahead and source where the best place on this particular chain is to make that swap. So if we can take that function where a DEX aggregator will source the best place to make that swap and then connect the interoperability cross-chain, it means that you can, because DEX aggregators will pick up liquidity, pretty much all the liquidity across all DEXs on that chain. So it means that you can swap any token with a DEX aggregator on that chain. But once you introduce the fact that you can go cross-chain and connect with another DEX aggregator, it means that you have a situation where you can swap any token with any token. Now that swap widget, a widget basically being the interface where you do the swaps, you can pull that out, and then place that into your website. So it's like what they call an iframe. You pick it up, you place it into your website, and now as a project, I can then have my token on this widget that now can be purchased by anyone on any chain that we're connected to with any token that the DEX aggregators can pick up, which is huge for projects, right? Because now they've not just got access to users and liquidity on the chain that they're on, but now they have access to users and liquidity with multiple different currencies across all the chains that Layer 1X is connected to. So it just opens up their kind of user base and access for liquidity to purchase their token. So it's a really important part of the widget. So we've got the cross chain. You can pick up the widget, put it onto your site. We introduce the DEX aggregation. So we've got any token to any token. And then when we introduce the fiat, then people can also integrate fiat into that widget as well. So now you can purchase with fiat, you can purchase with tokens from the native chain, or across any of the chains we're connected to. So it's a really powerful tool. And at the same time, the project implementing the widget gets 20% of the fees generated from that widget on transactions on that particular widget. So they can earn money, they can get exposure for their token. Their users don't have to leave their website to go ahead and purchase their token with any other token. So there's a lot of benefits to that. So that's a really important kind of adoption, I suppose, asset that we have to be able to go ahead and build adoption for the chain through transactions on the widget.
I think to add to that as well, I think it's important to take a step back and kind of have everybody look at the vision behind building these type of X widgets and components with it is by Layer 1X is basically to empower the users, right? And so as we do that, we're really bringing or we're selling value in interoperability, right? And so that value doesn't necessarily mean the ease and convenience of transferring the tokens, as Machu or Sparks mentioned earlier. It does include the value of being able to tap into, transfer, monetize off of data logic as well, and by making that very cost effective for those transactions to happen both on and off chain for the end user are key. And so I think if we kind of summarize that whole thing, it really just boils down to the point that L1X wants to do to data what Bitcoin did for money, right? And I think that if we keep that in our forefront of our mind, it will really help us to understand the value propositions that we can provide, not only to users that use L1X, but to users across crypto.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely amazing and mind-blowing at the same time. So imagine if, so for example, imagine if you're on CoinMarketCap surfing, looking at tokens, and now you want to buy Ethereum, for example, and you have funds on Matic, uh, and then CoinMarketCap has already implemented the X-widget. You just go to the X-widget from the website, purchase the token, and that's it. You don't have to go anywhere. And plus 20% of that fees goes to CoinMarketCap directly. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. I see that we finally have Chief up on the stage. Go ahead, Machu. Did you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say one of the community members, I think it was Nedex, just mentioned that cross-chain DEX aggregators already exist, and they do. I think the opportunity for Layer 1X, when we can work with the DEX to build up the liquidity to then optimize the fees and reduce the fees, is that with a cross-chain aggregator, a lot of them will aggregate. So they'll look at the best DEX aggregator for the swap, and then they'll look at the best cross-chain solution for the swap as well. So they might so like LiFi is one of them. There's a few out there. So what they do is they go DEX aggregation, then they have a look at what are the options. We can go through Stargate, we can go through Squid, we can go whatever that is, and then let's go through what's the DEX aggregator on the other side. So when we can build up the liquidity and optimize the fees, and we're cheaper, faster, safer, then we become an option on say like a DEX, a cross-chain DEX aggregator. So then they'll go to source, Stargate, Squid, us, and see which one's the most efficient route. And if we're the most efficient route there, then also we'll get chosen to be able to do that cross-chain swap. With that doesn't include anything about the widget. It just being an option for those that are already DEX aggregating cross-chain, that we now become an option and potentially the best option. Once we can get the liquidity through the DEX and optimize the fees, more than likely will be the best option. So there's also adoption coming through that as well, where these other cross-chain aggregators, which are aggregating cross-chain solutions, we become an option and potentially the best option.
And I think we are well on track to become the best option out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's one of the important roles. When we're talking to the DEX guys are excited, right? They're really, and to build up the liquidity there and have these swaps humming, is, I think, is just, yeah, that'll be fantastic and really showcase the tech.
Yeah, my fingers are quite itching right now to try the L1 Dex. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I'll try as soon as it's available. Chief, we finally have you up on the stage. Just a quick sound check if you are still there or you have went to sleep.
Yeah, hopefully it's okay now. Sorry, my everything just wanted to do an update, both the PC and the mobile Discord and also the machine itself. So hopefully it's all good now.
Oh, yeah, you are loud and clear. So previously, Matthew mentioned something regarding the centralized exchanges, and he mentioned that you would be the right person to give us more updates regarding on that. We already discussed the centralized exchanges, but if there's still something that you would like to add, then feel free to do so. If not, then we can move on to more questions.
I'll just let you know what I've gone through, Chief. So basically, we've got the mixed C ones, and we're at the final stages. We're probably 3 or 4 exchanges, just waiting. We've gone back and forth with them. We're waiting, and hopefully we can get that finalized next week. But we're just waiting on. So I think we've applied to 10. We've got 3 or 4 that we're near final stages with.
15 odd that we've sent in or now. We just keep adding to them. What we get though is, as Spark mentioned, that a lot of going back and forwards. A lot of it is us going through and answering their questions and actually providing more detail around the capability. It takes a lot of work. There's a lot of discussions going on. If you saw our Telegram groups, they're pretty full on. The discussion's been going on for quite a while. I've got questions about this. We then explain it all to them. They then bring in another tech member, and we have to explain it all to them. We jump on phone calls with them to go through it. It's a lot of effort to get these through, and the amount of information that we've had to work through and provide is actually quite huge. So it takes a bit of effort. We'll get there, but it just a lot of work.
Yeah, centralized exchanges are never an easy thing. It's always a headache. So you need Power Rangers like Chief, Matthew, and Cody to get that done. So just one.
Absolutely.
This is more of a technical question, and I feel like it should be answered by Kevin. So if you guys can answer it, then it's fine. If not, then we'll definitely answer it in our L1X chat. But yeah, anyways, here's the question. It's from Grover, by the way, so our very own XGuard. I truly believe one of the features of L1X that is greatly understated is the L1X virtual machine's ability to recompile WASM into eBPF, as proven and demonstrated by Kevin in the hackathon. Are we going to be selling that amazing feature moving forward?
Best part is, we will, not directly selling it as a capability, but introducing that as a capability across various projects that need it. Look, it's something that's been done before, or people have tried to achieve it, but and Kevin focuses on being able to achieve the impossible, and he proved it time and time again. And it's not only that's impossible; it's that nobody else has actually been able to think about it in a different way to come up with a solution. Those are capabilities that we talk about with a lot of our gaming partners, and we should be releasing a lot more of those coming up over the coming weeks and months with all the various partners, and then you'll start seeing that capability. You won't necessarily actually with introducing that capability for the games, they'll just introduce it, and it will become part of their product. So it's not really something that we go out there and we sell as an individual solution. This is what you need. It's an underlying capability, almost like a gaming engine is the best way to describe it. It'll be powered by the same as a widget. The widget is powered by the L1X technology, our smart contracts, our virtual machines. Thank
you, Chief. I do see a very big question from Crypto Brain Master. Would you be able to rephrase that question, please? I quite don't understand what's the question exactly. One last question from Copper Bear. Are there any updates on node hosting services? I guess this might be the question.
I'm muted.
For...
Sorry, I was muted, guys. Kevin will have that latest, but Kevin's there is a node hosting provider that he's working with to be able to provide the node hosting. I think on the last AMA, though, when he's talking to them in terms of getting it set up. I think the last AMA, which was last week, said that would happen probably towards the end of February.
Yeah, I think that answers the question. Thank you, Matthew. Joe, I think those are all of the questions. Yeah. So I think now from anyone in the listeners audience, if you would like to come up to the stage, talk to team members directly, or anything related to the app, stuff like that, then just raise your hand and I'll let you up on the stage. Passing over to you, Joe.
Yeah, exactly as Sam says, it's a great opportunity. I guess we've got the team here. We've got that extra little bit of time. I think, we had last week's AMA where it was a lot of stuff. Obviously, drinking from the fire hose this week, I feel like, is our intermediary before we really dial in for next week. I think, what is it, two more of these?
It's almost like having a everyone guzzled it down because there was so much drinking from the fire hose. A couple of sips this week, and then you get your appetite ready again for next week.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. This is sort of like the check-in. Hey, has anybody died yet? No, we're doing okay. And then it's like next one. Then we rock on from there. Because I think technically we've got next week, and then the week after I think is literally the day before MainNet. I think is right. So I don't know what that looks like. If everybody's just like head down, bum up, busy on that day. Like I don't know. Maybe it's sort of everything's done and we can have a great chat about whatever's coming. But who knows? This is what I mean around this. If we've got questions now is the time to throw them up there. And obviously anything that can be answered by the guys, obviously we will. And if we need to push stuff back for more technical questions, then we can put them back to the team and get them back to the community in the chats as well. I think there was one question from the community. I know we talked about this. It would have been a couple of weeks ago, but just to get a verifying again, the winners of the 500k L1X, that's vested? I think we confirmed that a couple of weeks ago, but I just want to confirm that again on the live.
Yeah. So the winners of the 500k L1X, I'm talking to Kevin, will be vested. I believe it'll be automatically placed in the platinum experts. I think that was what Kevin's plan to, and vested over that period. But obviously, it will also be in the platinum with all its perks.
Yeah, so that's a double awesome for the winner, but also I think awesome for the community. Seeing that come up, it's one of those things where you go, wow, what an awesome prize, but it's sort of like, wow, what an awesome prize. If you get what I'm saying, but that's excellent. I don't think there were too many other questions that we had that from the background. So like I said, and like Sam said before, if there's more stuff anybody wants to know, throw it up in the chat, or alternatively, even just raise your hand and get up on stage if you've got any feedback. Now's the time. The resonating silence. That's the fun bit. I know we waited this whole time for Chief to get here, and then, like you have no idea how much Chief went through to be on this call right now. I seen him throw his phone off a cliff. I sent him all sorts of things. He shaved his head.
I do see that the question there. I don't know if anybody's answered it around from Crypto Brainmaster. Wondering whether any projects that come in will have to buy L1X coins. If this is the case of create natural buying for the coins as well going forward. And yes, I'm changing it from tokens to coins because we're a coin. Being a layer one, being our own blockchain, the simple definition of that is that we are a coin, not a token. A token is on somebody else's chain. It's probably the simplest answer just for that one. But to actually answer the question, it depends on the project. Every project is different. Their requirements are different. Some just require a very simple piece of integration, but others have, because of the way they've built their solution, require effort. What we do is, if they also require the fundraising, there's multiple ways that we can achieve that and help them. The L1X, there's L1X grants, but our focus on that is around the integration side of those projects. When it comes to any additional funding they're looking for, it's about them looking how they can sell it or market us amongst their community. So that's where we do a lot of collaborations with them around AMAs, around the Twitter Spaces and all those sort of things. So every project is different. I wish there was a simple cookie cutter for them.
Fantastic. I see we've got Crypto Psycho. I see you're on stage. Did you have comments, questions, anything you wanted to direct this way?
Well, yeah, well, I was about to jump in. I was just filling up with fuel when you asked the question if anyone wants to jump up. So I've just got out of there. I've just jumped in. I'm just really excited now for the countdown. Like we've got less, like 2 weeks until we go live, and I mean, for me personally, I just can't wait to get using the space cards, get the influence up and running, and see what it's all about. Getting like live streams going. It's gonna be so exciting. Once MainNet happens, like the influx of people that will come in, crazy, because that's when real FOMO kicks in. When people start seeing it on like these like influencer shows, and that's when everyone starts finding out about most projects. Like I think being here now, you kind of forget like how lucky you are that you found Layer 1X, because like we're like the 1% of DJs that know about Layer 1X. Like most people won't find out about it until it's being talked about on all these big YouTube shows. So that's when it'll really explode.
I'm gonna give Crypto Psycho a shout out as well, just so the community members know. Crypto Psycho has been amazing, right, over this period in terms of an active community member. Like, he's been in the space for some time, but he's been helping in the background connect us with different AMA groups, connect us with projects, connect us with people that he knows within his network. So hopefully I'm not putting you on the spot here, mate. But look, a massive thank you to you. He's been really active, and obviously I don't think people know that, because a lot of what he does is he does it in the background. But a huge thank you to you, mate, in terms of everything you've done, to support the project.
Yeah, well, to be honest, like if you believe in a project, like in the new video the new Twitter post that was put out the other day, like saying asking like how they found L1X, like how did they, like what's your story? And like quite simply put, the first time I found out about Layer 1X and had the privilege of going to the offices and seeing you, Mike, Kevin, like presenting, like that's when everyone becomes a believer, because it's different seeing the tech, like, and being in Discord and being in Twitter Spaces, but like when you can physically meet you guys and go in the offices, it's like all of the above on steroids, because you really get a sense of what Layer 1X is doing. And I've explained it to like basically every person that I've told to invest. They've invested because they've seen my vision of what Layer 1X is, and I think when you can see stuff in real life, it's completely different than just experiencing it online, because you get a real sense of what people are about. So like it's an easy sell. So like when I started finding out about Layer 1X, like I pretty much do everything I can to kind of help. Now it's only a small, tiny contribution compared to what obviously Layer 1X is doing, but if I can like connect anyone in any space with Layer 1X and educate them and get them involved, then it's for the greater good, and it benefits everyone, doesn't it? Like any little contribution that anyone does, whether it's a Twitter post, whether it's a Facebook post, whether it's telling someone in person, you're benefiting every single person that involves in Layer 1X, because it's exposure. And I think people undervalue what the power of a community can do, because it's the community that makes that. It's the community that creates the network effect. Like Facebook won't be what it was or what it is if people didn't use it, and it'll be the same with L1X. The L1X app will be used by everybody, and it's not through the marketing efforts. It's through users telling users, and it's through people getting involved and realizing what it does.
Yeah, no, mate, it's well said, buddy. Yeah, no, appreciate it.
Totally agree, and I also love the messages and the voicemails that Crypto Psycho leaves for me. Gives me an absolute laugh. On you got some days when you're sitting here and just working, and all of a sudden a voicemail pops up from Crypto Psycho. It just gives you a good laugh, and in those late night chats and everything that we have. I think that's part of it, is creating that community. And I do encourage our all of our community to get out there and promote it and push it. It's all in your own. It's in your interest to do that as well. The more we get our name out there, the more we like our Twitter posts and all the other things that we publish. Just get out there and push those so that we can educate the world on what we're offering. That's the absolute key. It comes from the community.
To add to that as well, Crypto Psycho mentioned, his L1X story. I think this is a great opportunity for us to kind of get behind that post. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you go check it out on Twitter. And if you're brave enough to put yourself out there and create a video around your L1X story and share it with the hashtag L1X story, I think that will allow us to control and contribute to the community's narrative of what we're trying to say out there. As many of you know, I'm a firm believer that everybody has a very unique story, one that is engaging and one that is motivational to a lot of people. It will hit different people in different ways, but it will also get people to inspire them to learn more about L1X. And that's really what it's about, is opening your mouth, sharing your knowledge, sharing what you know, sharing what you're passionate about. And all of us have a desire to connect with people at a story level that's built right into our DNA. And so it's the easiest form of grassroots marketing that you can do out there. And so I highly encourage everybody to jump in and to share your L1X story. I'll be out there monitoring the hashtag and waiting for everybody's story to come out.
See, there's a question in the chat there, Cryptonaut, about the hat NFT. I think people want a piece of that hat, good sir.
Oh boy. Let's just say I may or may not have something for those hat seekers.
Let him
out
start
there.
on the hat, because he keeps on. This is what he does, right? I'll give the community a bit of an insight into the hat envy that he creates. So he brings out a cool hat, L1X, and I got to give him a shout out, because he did when he came over to Australia last time. He brought over some hats, which is great. So I wear my hat too. But now he's creating these even like cooler hats, and all he does is just kind of send Chief and I a photo of this really cool hat,
Random
and
messages.
how and how he's got it and no one else has. And so I think he finds pleasure in the pain that he creates with the hat envy. But there's some cool hats.
He's sick. Yeah. Oh, the hats look good. Yeah. No, I have to when I respond to them, I have to knock them down a bit and just say, oh, no, that's not quite there yet. But they do look bloody fantastic. Just don't tell him.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't even know. I think obviously just conscious of everybody's time. Let's start our wrap ups. Who wants to jump in first?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Look, exciting times. Appreciate everyone that's just joined. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the protocol. Everyone who's been in for a long time. Exciting times very shortly. So stay tuned. And also the first AMA that Kevin's doing is with a DeFi dojo, which is full of like projects, developers, investors. And so look out for that. I think it's tomorrow morning our time, so AWST 5 a.m. I'm pretty sure there'll be, if there's not a post, there'll be a post coming out about it. So jump on that. That'll be really interesting.
Fantastic. Chief?
Yeah, from me, I'm going to go and buy myself a new keyboard. I think I've just worn this one out with all the applications and the typing and everything else. Cracking on with trying to sort out exchanges and getting all that paperwork and all the questions answered. So we just hammer on with all of that.
I think what Chief is saying is if anybody has a tech hookup, he needs a new phone, he needs a new computer, he needs a new keyboard. Somebody needs to look after this man. We got Kevin plans. Obviously, we need to get Chief Tech. Also, look at those hats in the chat there. If you're not on the chat in the sidebar, have a look at what CryptoNaut's got sharing. There's some pretty Gucci looking hats, and I think we can.
Yes, for me, it's not the tech. Sorry, mate. It's not the tech hardware. It's the bloody software updates that they keep wanting to do. So somebody can sort that out and yeah.
It's basically the same thing with Apple, isn't it? You don't get a software update. It's just you have to get a new phone. Isn't that how they continue to draw people in?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave that there. Yeah. Don't want to get rugged from Discord. CryptoNaut.
Yeah, I did an AMA from another group called Alpha Growth today, and as I'm kind of looking through some of the people that are in the audience today of this AMA, many of you were in that as well, and so thank you so much for your support on those other community AMAs. As I was kind of looking through the chats or the threads underneath the spaces, it was fun to see that we were dominating the thread on that one. It's great to see that not only are we representing as individuals, but we're also representing in groups. Power does come in groups, that's for sure. So first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you, and I know that probably goes for Machu and Mike as well, that are also doing those other community AMAs as well. I can see that my posts with the hats have made quite a few stirred comments of wanting ones. I do have a few extra L1X hats. Stay tuned. If you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me. I'm going to be giving away a couple of hats to a couple of people. Just working out a couple of different logistics of how we're going to go about doing that, but I definitely have some hats, and maybe you may earn one of the new ones. I don't know. We'll have to find out, but definitely want to get some of our fans of the hat some of those out, and so stay tuned for that. We'll probably do something a little bit closer to launch of MainNet and for celebration kind of stuff. So
I think they've definitely got the most picture interaction in this chat for a while. It's lots going on there. I mean, you're up here, Crypto Psycho. Would you like to have a quick your thoughts as a wrap up?
Yeah. I'll just echo what Cody said like moments ago. Like hashtag L1X stories. So for anyone that's not shy on the camera, just jump on and just share your story. Because as Cody said, stories are very powerful, and people really believe a good story. And good narrative, a good story is what will get people into L1X. So it'll literally take you, 60 seconds to 2 minutes, and that could have a profound impact on someone that is watching it. That's my story.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sam, we've got you here as well. Give us your wrap up thoughts, sir.
Yeah, I haven't gone to sleep yet. So coming back to what Joe said regarding Chief, I want to say that Chief has been smashing things around in the office because he can't join AMAs. Just kidding. So on an ending note, I just want to say that we have a new invite competition live now, where if you reach, I think it was 1,500 lifetime invites, then the top 20 people to reach that will get 750 Layer 1X tokens. So the race is on. I already see one person reaching around 800 invites. So yeah, let's get that. And on Twitter, on DBank, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, wherever you can, Just like the stuff, comment stuff, do posts around it, tell your friends about it, jump in the Discord chat. Yeah, that's the support that we need from you guys.
Absolutely, and that's it. We know as a community, obviously, the community is what makes the difference. Obviously, the tech's there. We've got everything else going on. It's now the community's job to get out there and show the rest of the world how they can access the tech. And once that's happening, L1X will be unstoppable. I think, we don't need me to rabbit on. We know how I feel about the community. Obviously, we know that I appreciate you guys and obviously the team jumping on as well. Treat this as the intermediary live before we start to ramp up for the next 2 lives, which, as you can imagine, are going to be jam packed because it's basically MainNet. It's 2 away and then bang, we're on. So once again, thanks everyone for jumping in. We will see you on the very next one. Make sure you check out all the channels. We've got plenty of stuff to do. There's plenty of invite comps. There's plenty of other things. We'll see you all soon. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. Bye bye.